what I'm going to do really quick, because I promised you this, is I'm going to teach you some healthy protective tools against narcissists. So someone said, is there a what's it called, a group where you can DM and you can talk and do like support work for this? Actually, that's what our membership is about. So this Emotional Freedom Collective is this membership that I have and I offer for all my students, which basically when you join it, you can, we talk about these kind of topics and provide group work so you can work through the healing of this stuff. So if you want to join, click the link in my bio. I think it's, I'll just put it in here right now. It's called the, oh my God, my fingers are like, hold on. FC, oh, community. Oh, my spelling's like all fucked. .com. That's the membership group where we actually talk about like work like this, where we talk about conversations and do healing work about, so we've talked about codependency, we've talked about attachment styles, all of that stuff in there. And it's very simple. It's a membership group. You can join it just to try it out also if you want for $1 for 2 weeks. And then if you want to stay longer, you can join for like $30 a month to stay month on month. And, you know, we have a lot of beautiful, powerful conversations on that. Anyway, I want to offer you this before, because I promised you this. I was teaching this to my group. But here are some healthy protective tools. I say against narcissists. I even don't like using that word so much because using the word narcissist itself can be like such a victimization kind of feeling where we're just attached to them and the way we define them. But some of the things you need to work through. I've written therapy here, which is the obvious one. Why? Because therapy with a therapist or with a counselor or with anybody who provides you good reflection sometimes is just about giving you a reflection on where you need to work on your self-worth and self-esteem. Now, everybody may have self-worth and self-esteem issues, but people who get sucked into relationships with narcissists, we become huge victims of this because that's why we're with these people with overinflated sense of value, because they make us feel kind of special. Now, if we worked on our own self-worth and created a higher sense of self-esteem, we would not be sucked into those kind of relationships. Move a phone a little to the left. There you go. Can you guys see that now? Thank you for whoever is guiding me. There you go. Thumbs up if you can see it. Okay. Second, this is a massive one. People who are in relationships primarily with like narcissists or narcissistic people suffer from what we call the abandonment wound. Now, this is a really deep wound that lives inside, like I said, attached to the inner child. And it is the driving factor in why we want to be attached to someone who makes us feel or who can potentially make us feel bad about ourselves, is because we just want to attach to someone and get that source of like love and validation. Something that can help in the moment, a tool. Remember that Caitlin talked about it, which is so crazy, right? She said, suddenly I had this group of people, this group of friends, like 100 people who really showed up for me and blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, really supported me, and a group of like, you know, new group of loving community. This is it, an accountability source. So friends, community, a group of like, you know, somebody talked about like having a support group where you can actually support each other to grow through this, and you can catch each other when the signs are showing up. Boundaries, big one. Anybody in a relationship with a narcissist or even in codependency relationship needs to work on improving their boundaries so that they don't get sucked into relationships like these, especially when they're vulnerable. Now, this is a key element here because I've used this thing of especially when you're vulnerable, because when we are our most vulnerable, when we're hurting from our wounds the most, that's when we'll be sucked into these kind of relationships. That's why I asked Caitlin, what was it that you were going through at that moment when you got into this relationship? Like, you know, I asked other people this, like, what is it that you're going through? And people say, I'm feeling lonely, I really want companionship, etc. And that's what gets us to be sucked into these type of relationships. So especially when we're vulnerable, we need to actually have like this kind of association tool. Especially when I'm wounded, that's when or especially when I'm vulnerable, that's when I draw my best boundaries, whatever they may look like, energetic, physical, emotional kind of boundaries. And then creating and visualizing a healthy idea of love. If you have a depiction of this that you can go to every single day, so if you journal what a healthy idea of love is, if you create and you visualize, you close your eyes and you visualize that every morning, you will be distracted from the unhealthy idea of love that you're living in. Does that make sense to you guys? So if you create a healthy version of love and you visualize that every morning, you will be distracted from and dissuaded from that unhealthy version of love that you have every day, which will make you want to separate from it. And soon you will realize that you're not getting what you want in that situation, and you can only get it through doing this. Mirror work is a really powerful practice again in helping you work through like self-esteem stuff and working through self-worth issues where you can actually stand in front of the mirror and you can learn to empower yourself. There's a really powerful TED talk where she talks about, like, I think it's called Fake It Till You Make It, where she talks about how she learned to empower herself every day so she could create like some success and value for herself in a workplace, but also super helpful in relationships. And then the last one, this is a crazy, crazy fucking fact I want to give you guys before I leave. Let the relationship prove itself by actions, not words. Now, I want to tell you that one of the craziest things that happens in relationships with narcissists is that they use words as a source to continuously manipulate you and to manipulate us. Now, here's a crazy fact that I'm going to tell you about the human brain and how it deals with conversation and how it deals with connection. Did you know that the human brain can, the way it's wired through the auditory canal, like, you know, through the way we listen, excuse me, can differentiate between a fact and falsity or true and false only 50% of the time when it comes through our ears or our auditory canal, which means when someone speaks something to you, the likelihood that you will believe it is so easy because you can only distinguish between whether it's true or false only 50%. So you are more likely than not to believe whatever they have to say because you only have the ability to distinguish between true and false when it comes to your auditory canal, the way it's wired in your cerebrum, only 50% of the time. But here's something that's even more amazing. The other senses that you have, whether it comes to like when you see things, when you perceive things, so you're using your like, this is kind of like a sixth sense or whatever, but it basically comes off from your skin. The sensory reception from your skin, which is another organ of yours, like the largest organ of the body is your skin. When you see or feel something, the way these senses are wired to the brain, you have the ability to distinguish between what is true and false 90 fucking percent of the time. Can you believe that? So when you hear something, you can only distinguish between whether it's right or wrong 50% of the time. But when you feel something or when you see the actions, you can distinguish between whether it's true or false, genuine or not good, up to 90% of the time. What this means is, instead of just falling for someone whispering sweet words to you, watch their fucking actions. Watch how they're showing up. Bear witness to their actions, their behavior, their depictions, and you will see who that person really is and how they're really showing up. And that is what will give you the best idea of what it is they're really showing up for. The problem is our wounds want us to believe what's easy. So 50% is easy, right? I can just be so easily convinced I'm valuable when I listen to it. So I'd rather just listen to it than watch their actions. In fact, what's so crazy is we're abandoning our other senses. Because remember what I said, when we're in a place where we really want love, connection, where we really just want someone to like show up for us in a way that makes us feel valuable or worth it, we will do anything to take that. So we want to listen to it because it's easy and we can absorb it. At that point, believe it or not, your eyes, your senses, your gut are telling you this is not good for you. But you're like, fuck those senses. I'd rather not know that this person's an asshole and I'd rather believe that they're just really here for me and I really want, and they're really going to be able to love me. So with that, I've given you guys some like healthy protective tools to work through what you guys need. So this is what I teach in this group, the Emotional Freedom Collective, which is up here. You can see that link down there for you to join. Next month's conversation is going to be about self-abandonment and about love bombing. Some gaslighting and stuff I think is in there. So we're going to be talking about some really deep topics in there about how and why we self-abandon when it comes to people trying to over-validate us with like love bombing, blah, blah, blah. How we can protect ourselves, how we can identify it, and how we can show up for ourselves so that we don't need to fall for this stuff from other people. So if you'd like, click that link to join it. For everybody who is out here today, I'm really grateful that you were here. If this helped you, please share it. Don't share it for like so it can get more likes and comments and blah, blah, blah. Just share it with people who need it because I actually gave you a set of tools that you can also use. So if you know people or if you have groups where there are people who've been hurting from this, please just share this live. I'm going to save this live for you guys on my page. Please share this with them. Give them an opportunity to be able to heal and work through these same challenging, like difficult things that we've gone through. So that it's not about saving them the heartache or the trouble, but it's that we can give them a way out, so that we can give them an opportunity to heal and live a better life. And with that, I will say to all of you, namaste, I love all of you. The soul within me sees the soul within you. You're all beautiful, loving, amazing people. Remember, as you heal and love and show up for yourself, you will create miracles in your life. You will manifest the abundance, the success, and the amazing connection that you deserve all around you. So, with that, I say good night. I love all of you, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful night.
Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.